Hello everybody, I'm your host Rafa. Welcome back to another week of JRE in a nutshell, the only show online where we give you timestamps and opinions in a short form of all of the Joe Rogan experience of the week. This week we have 4 interviews. From those 4, we're going to have opinions of only 3. As usual, the MMA interview we're just going to skip because they normally in these interviews, they speak only about martial arts. So if you like martial arts, there's nothing for me to say, just go and watch it. In this case, they deviate from martial arts just for about 20 minutes, around the 1 hour and 5, where Jorge Masvidal speaks about his political opinions. They speak a bit about politics and about the current situation in the United States, but it's just about 20 minutes, then they go back to fighting. But I'm extremely excited about the other 3 interviews. We have 2 Andrews, 2 characters that I absolutely love, Andrew Huberman and Andrew Schulz. We also have a doctor in psychology, David Buss, who speaks a lot about relationships and society. With Huberman, we have a lot of fitness, hot and cold effects on the body, with all of this sauna and ice plunge trending that's going on. And with Schulz, we also have obviously some stand-up comedy, some conspiracy. A lot of fun, great week. Please don't forget to give me one of these. Follow me and hit subscribe and press the bell and all that stuff so you can get all of my notifications. And don't forget to stay until the end so you can check out the quote of the week. So I'm really excited. Let's get started. So let's start with Andrew Huberman. He has an amazing podcast as well called The Huberman Lab. It's awesome. I recommend everybody to follow, especially if you're into fitness and personal development, especially biological, let's say. It's great. Really, really recommended. He came this time and we spoke obviously a lot about fitness and the brain. We also spoke about psychedelics. We spoke about some conspiracy. Jeffrey Epstein was there and the COVID lab leak was there. Supplements as well. So very compact. With a lot of information all over, but everything extremely interesting. I love this guy. As I said, he's super smart and super fun to hear and just really nice, cool dude. I recommend everybody not only to check this episode but also to follow his podcast as well. I give it 4.5 nuts. Amazing interview. You're definitely not gonna regret checking it out. So now let's move on to David Buss. I never heard of the gentleman before, but he's super cool, super smart. He's a psychologist. I'm really into psychology, so every time I hear about this, I pay an extra ear because I'm really interested. In this case, he's a evolutionary psychologist and he specifies in human mating. So he goes through the whole story from past, present to the possible future according to the cultural standards that we're living right now, what's going to happen with humans and mating and reproduction and overpopulation, underpopulation, all that kind of stuff. Very interesting, extremely cool. I give it 4 nuts. I would definitely recommend everybody to check this out if you're interested in psychology or you like psychology in general. And in this kind, cultural, social, anthropological, definitely check it out. Amazing interview. Now Andrew Schulz, amazing guy. I love this man not only as a comedian but also his ideas, his cultural, his politics, his everything. I think he's a very cool standard guy and in my opinion one of the few guys that has a good side on the left and on the right. There's not many like him, so I appreciate everything he does. And the interview was also pretty cool. They start talking about archery because Andrew was shooting arrows before the show.
I have a new respect for bow and arrow folks.
Big hand there. All right, now draw that. Oh shit! It is a lot. Now draw that. First of all, the bow's not even set up for you. Dude. Bro. Now don't touch the thumb button until you see that little pin through the peep sight. Okay. This little peep sight right here. Oh. Jesus Christ.
What just happened?
My fucking shoulder with it.
This is insane.
Put your right eye through that peep sight.
Oh, now I see it.
Okay, now center that little dot, that green dot at the top.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, just touch off that thumb button. Bro.
Did I hit it?
You hit it perfect.
Oh, let's go. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, bro.
First shot ever, never shot a bow.
Wow.
40 yards, right in the vitals.
Wow.
Get yourself a good mentor if you want to learn how to shoot out.
You got it right in the fucking vitals.
That was cool.
That's an amazing thing. You should probably quit now.
Yeah.
And that takes them in the ancient war path, the Mongols, Chinese. Then they move up to stand-up. They talk about stand-up, of course, for a while. They're both stand-up comedians, professional ones. They talk about society as well, and they speak very interesting things about religion. This is where the quote of the week is coming. Amazing. Don't forget to stay until the end to check it out. It's from Andrew Schulz directly. After that, they go back to this war thing. They speak about samurais and they talk about the GOAT, John Jones, and how he would have been like the ultimate warrior, let's say, from back in the day, of course. Amazing interview, super funny, a very, very interesting history, also some conspiracy stuff. Very, very cool. I recommend everybody to check it out. You're gonna laugh your ass off and you're gonna definitely enjoy it. The heavies, 4.5 knots for Andrew Schulz. So let's go to the timestamps of this amazing interview with Andrew Huberman. First of all, remember, don't forget to give me one of those. Thumbs up, subscribe and like, and also don't forget that in the description of this video you will find the real times of all the subjects I'm gonna talk about, the links, the sources of all of the guests, and everything is right down on the description, so check it out. So let's start with the timestamps. First, immediately they start talking about Andrew Huberman's cheat foods, his diet, what he eats. They move to the ocean pollution, plastic specifically. Very, very interesting. They speak a little bit about why is China #1 in when it comes to plastic pollution to the oceans. And from my personal knowledge, I live in the European Union, in the community. For my personal knowledge, we sell our plastic to China. So they ask us to recycle. They put all the plastic in one bucket, but at the end of the day, what they do with that, they sell it to China, and China then pollutes the environment. So I actually don't know if where I live, recycling plastic is the best. If I would throw it in the garbage, it would be less damaging for the ocean. So that's an interesting fact. They move to spicy sauces and all of the what it does to your body, how much it burns and all that stuff, quite interesting. Then they move to the positive side of suffering. And being in the sauna, doing the ice plunge, all of these difficult things that are good for you but are really, really difficult and make you suffer. What's the psychological effect, the physical effect on all of those things, that doing those things that make you suffer, get you out of your comfort zone. Super, super interesting. Then they move to journalism, mainstream media, independent journalism. As usual, we speak a lot about this normally. Public health, big pharma, we also speak a lot about this. We move to Jeffrey Epstein. Very, very interesting topic because he speaks about Jeffrey Epstein, something I never heard before. They speak about his influence in the science community. So we know he had a lot of influence with politicians and with billionaires and all of these famous people, but I never heard about his influence with the science community. And it turns out this was very important at the beginning of all of his fraud or all of these endeavors, let's say, his shenanigans, whatever. So yeah, pretty cool this part. They move to psychedelics, the current research on psychedelics, what's happening right now in psychedelics. Very, very interesting and cool information to find out that psychedelics is now being so accepted and open in the official community, that is not anymore demonized. Really, really cool. After this, they speak about semaglutides, supplements, health things, diets, eating meat, burning fat, and all of those physiological, biological, and dietary fitness. Pretty cool. They talk about a lot, but everything they speak about is great. I really recommend you to watch everything. This interview is amazing. Andrew Huberman rocks, and when they speak, it's just awesome. So yeah, as I said before, 4.5 knots for this interview. Definitely check it out. So, and that is a wrap for another JRE in a nutshell. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast, to my channel, to my episode. Please share me, like me, thumbs up and everything. Talk to your friends who you know that like Joe Rogan, the interview. If they don't have so much time, I'm here to help, to let you know if it's worth the interview, if it's not worth. And you can check, maybe I'm interested in this subject, not in this. So you can check down in the description which 1 hour maybe I'm only interested in. Then you don't have to listen to the full 3 hours of the interview, but just those topics that you care about. So thank you so much for listening. Please don't go before you listen to the quote of the week. It's gonna start right when I finish talking. And thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Peace.
And what if religion is just the language that you can speak to him as he speaks to you?
Yeah.
Because they all more or less say the same things.
Very similar.
And what if they're up there, they're going, I don't really mind what language you speak, as long as you're doing these things, because I think it will help you. It's not even like a narcissism thing, which is like, hey, if you do these things, you're probably going to live a better life and enjoy this life, this gift that I've given you.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's it.